Celtic Park, known as Paradise, around the Glasgow area of Parkhead, home of Celtic Football Club and home today of the pride of Celtic Rugby. The Glasgow Warriors, home advantage. At least they are playing in their home city, coming to the one of the great cathedrals of football, but coming here in numbers. There's going to be well over 40,000 people here at Celtic Park. And the visitors, Leinster. Look at that front row. Cian Healy, Sean Cronin, Ty Furlong, and the class goes throughout the side. Keep an eye on Jack Conan at number 8 and the yards he must make today. And behind the scrum, Johnny Sexton hasn't played much Pro 14 football this season, but always an influence. Rob Carney back from injury at fullback. The Glasgow team, it too has its powerhouses. Matt Ferguson playing with his brother Xander Ferguson in the front row. Callum Giddens, the New Zealander, captain in the back row. And what an emotional day for number 15, Stuart Hogg. His last day in his home city. He's going to play for Exeter next season. And if there are brothers in the Glasgow team, there are brothers on the Glasgow bench, George Horn, Peter Horn, and there are twin brothers on the Leinster bench, Brian Byrne and Ed Byrne. Their turn will come. For the moment, it's down to these starting 15 players. Jonathan Sexton waits. Callum Giddens joins him. Defeated in the Champions Cup. What have Leinster got left for the Guinness PRO14 final? Chris Patterson, this is such a big day for Scottish rugby, isn't it?
What a welcome, what an atmosphere at Celtic Park. The majority, I have to say, are Glasgow supporters, but there's Leo Cullen stern as ever, put on the taxes. Jonathan Sexton this week spoke about relishing coming into this environment and trying to get a win for his side. There's pressure on both sides and we're set for a cracker.
Yeah, absolute privilege to be here. Fantastic atmosphere. Fitting final, without doubt, the two best teams in the Pro 14 this season. Both will back themselves to win this final, but yes, there's a lot of emotion about, but who can control that emotion the best and ultimately be crowned the champions?
Martin Williams from Wales, the referee from Wales, Nigel Owens. Leinster in their traditional blue. Glasgow all in black. Perhaps deep charcoal grey. A wonderful setting. The first time rugby has come to Celtic Park. It has a very natural feel to it here. The one thing, Martin, the dead ball lines are tight.
They are very tight. They really are. So look, kicking is going to play a big part. It has stopped raining now, but the ball's going to be very greasy.
Here we go, the Guinness Pro14 Grand Final. Glasgow Warriors against Leinster. Stuart Hogg to get us underway. High into the Leinster 22. A first touch for James Lowe. Luke McGrath, Leinster scrum half. James Ryan, the second row forward. McGrath towards Tommy Seymour. It's still in Leinster hands. Josh van der Fleer. Rhys Ruddock. from the back row. First touch, Johnny Sexton, can't go direct to touch. Glasgow have their hands on the ball. Away comes Kyle Steyn. Ali Price. Johnny Graham takes it forward. Adam Hastings. The foot slip inside. Stuart Hogg into the Leinster 22. Price checks. The tackle by Robbie Henshaw. Hastings again. The switch of play. Zander Fagerson. Jamie Batty, the other prop, does some more basic clearing out work, but it means Glasgow are still in possession. Scott Cummings, the other second row for Glasgow. Hastings, Sam Johnson, the switching field to Steyn from Hogg. Stripped by James Lowe, and away come Leinster. Hogg having to go back as fast as his legs will carry him, and then gets a thumping clearance away. The ball still in play. Johnny Sexton. Well taken. DTH van der Merwe. Ali Price, told to use it. Hogg.
Stay black, stay.
And just for once the ball goes out of play, but only for the briefest moment. Rob Kearney takes the quick throw from the touchline. Hogg again, the bounce. DTH van der Merwe says, woof. Oh, that's a good bounce. That will be a feature, the skidding, greasy surface of Celtic Park. James Lowe, and to a rousing cheer. Oh, we can take a break.
What a start to this final. I can guarantee you now that the 16 forwards absolutely delighted that James Lowe has put that into the stands after more or less 3 minutes of continuous play, to and fro-in. Thought Conan was away down that far side, and James Lowe from the kick ahead, but breathless opening exchanges.
The Glasgow are here to play, aren't they? You can see them keeping the ball in hand and away. Once again, Tommy Seymour taking the direct route from the line out.
Presented for Rob Harley. Hastings tries to glide around the outside, taken down by Robbie Henshaw. Turnover ball for Leinster. Josh van der Fleer picks up. Cian Healy plays scrum half. James Ryan acting outside half, the second row. There is time for Glasgow to think about this clearance. Hogg has time, goes for the old torpedo kick, and look at the distance on that clearance. Sexton, he too goes for the spiral, still in play. This, wow, if we thought the weather might slow the play down, it really hasn't.
Well, it's as close to an international as I've ever seen in a club match. There's tactical brilliance out there, there's excellent execution and the skill level. There's one or two mistakes as well due to the greasy surface, and it's a real tactical battle at the helm. Johnny Sexton's kicked more than he's passed, whereas Glasgow are looking to play, but a really good decision there from Adam Hastings to find the space in behind the front line, get the ball off the field and let us get our breath back.
Sean Cronin takes his time. Scott Fardy wins the line out. No Devin Toner in the Leinster team. The very tall man injured his knee in the Munster game. DTH van der Merwe can't take it. Advantage, well played Jack Conan, and quickly passed on by the front row. Sean Cronin and Ty Furlong. Advantage is over, but Gary Ringrose is away for Leinster. There is suddenly huge purpose to Leinster. They sense something perhaps, and the front row were very involved in the ball going wide.
Release, lost.
First penalty of the game.
First man in. On the ground as well. I called release Black. He was the first man in, you weren't. Ruck was formed. Second man in.
Yeah, no better referee than to communicate exactly why he's given the penalty away than Nigel Owens there. But all came from a fantastic box kick by Luke McGrath, contestable box kick which DTH Van der Merwe couldn't collect. And then it was a great piece of play from Jack Conan and Tag Furlong. You're always taught in turnover ball, get two passes, get it wide. Got Rob Kearney away on the far side. This is the penalty here, he's penalised. Things they will fight hard, particularly Fraser Brown. They just lost balance, gone over. Clear penalty there.
Yeah, because Jamie Batty was in first. Fraser Brown can't play that with his hands. It was Johnny Sexton who took it in there. He was hit hard by Xander Fagerson, so he's taken a minute before he assumes him. I assume he'll try and line up the kick at goal, but that box kick from McGrath was absolutely perfect. And Jordan Larmour actually got his arm up in the eye line of DTH Van der Merwe, which created the spell. And then as soon as Leinster feel as if they're on top, they'll then apply that attacking game. You know, the first few phases in the opening minutes, there was kick, they were looking for territory, but as soon as they sniff anything with it, they feel as if they're in the ascendancy or get a turnover, they'll really try and go for it as the rain is getting a little bit heavier. And I think, well, Johnny Sexton, as he opted to kick a goal,
just a sign that the rain is back.
he's taking the sting out of it as well. He's so experienced, isn't he?
I was just going to say exactly the same thing, you know. Just had no opportunity to get the second wind if any of the players out there at the moment. It's been frantic. I noticed James Lowe earlier on from a kick ahead from Johnny Sexton. He seemed out of breath already, only 4 minutes have gone in the game, you know, so it's been a breathless opening 6 minutes. As Chris mentioned earlier, international intensity, international atmosphere. Let's hope it lasts for the full 80.
Time back on, Johnny Sexton for the first points of the final. Pushed quite a long way wide.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it looks 40 metres out back in front, but you know, obviously the Glasgow crowd, I think we're making the point that it seemed to take a long time, but the clock had been stopped for an injury. But it's an opportunity missed for an away side to come who want a good start, who want to try and silence this home atmosphere. It's a bad miss from Johnny Sexton.
He only needs 8 points to catch a certain Chris Patterson.
I'm sure he'll get there eventually.
James Lowe. Tackled by Jamie Batty. Sexton again from hand. That's come off the side of his boot too. Another chance for DTH Van der Merwe. And Jordan Larmour did very well again to reclaim it for Leinster.
I think there's 2 or 3 kicks they'd put over on this wing to DTH Van der Merwe, so whether they think that's a weakness.
There's short kicks as well, they're not going for length, they're making them contestable. There's another one.
Another one for DTH. Adam Hastings tried to come to the rescue. Callum Gibbons picks up the bounced ball. Hastings now. There is space behind James Lowe. That's a good kick. Yeah, everybody's on. It got a touch, and that's superb work by Rhys Ruddock. The pass to Gary Ringrose. Leinster on the charge, and just Jack Conan at the end. Miss it. There is an advantage, a big advantage for Glasgow. We're back where we started. Rob Kearney tries to get some ground, but oh dear. The game that will not stop.
Real heads-up play. I think it was Rhys Ruddock. The ball had been deflected. Here we go. This is James Lowe's clearance kick. Glasgow fans going crazy, thinking Ruddock's offside, but it's been deflected so he can play on. And this is a blown opportunity. You've got to finish these chances. It's good cover from Hastings. Maybe Johnny Sexton could have given it a little bit earlier, just in front of Conan, and he couldn't take it in these conditions. But what a relieving kick from Stuart Hogg. You know, it's Chris knows far more than me, but it's gutsy to try the torpedo kick because they can easily come off the side of the foot.
It's so hard to do a torpedo kick on the run. He's done 2 or 3 as has Sexton, but the difference is when it hits the ground in this firm turf here, it skips off the surface and it doesn't give the current defender any time to get back.
Glasgow struggling to get their hands on the ball at the moment. Fraser Brown's line-out throw picked off.
Yeah. Fraser Brown is absolutely cleaned out Luke McGrath. It's a classic hook out, lost the throw in, and just taking it out on the little number 9.
There is a penalty advantage to Leinster.
Number 2 taking a man without the ball.
Yeah.
On the 5-metre line or just inside here?
I think Nigel Owens has had a word from Mike Adamson there, who saw that, because I think he was blindsided from Nigel Owens. But you know, they've lost the line out. Fraser Brown, eyes have lit up and taken Luke McGrath. And it's, you know, it's those big moments. It's that emotional atmosphere. It's a big game for Glasgow. You just got to keep your composure in these big moments. Here we see it. It's a good steal from Conan. Just cleans him out from behind on.
That's a sore one.
Yeah,
isn't it? It's a sore one. He doesn't see it coming, but it's just the reaction to losing a throw, and it's almost as if McGrath gets in the way of the tackle. It is underneath the shoulder. To hear Nigel Owens saying penalty only.
Look at this for me, please, okay? I just want to. I'm going to put up on the screen.
Yeah.
The
I'm going to have another look.
Black for me, okay?
The actions are 4 black.
No, the actions are number 2 black.
Yeah, so what is
Okay.
he done?
So we've got an unprotected back rather from blue 9, and black 2 dangerously comes into the back of it off the ball. Okay.
Okay, so we've penalised that. You were telling me that you think it's a yellow card.
I just want to look. I just want you to have a look at it to be comfortable in your mind. Okay.
Ian Davis,
Okay.
the TMO.
So what is he? Are you seeing more than a penalty? Are you? That's why you want me to
For
look at
me,
it again?
it's dangerous. It's off the ball into the unprotected back of blue 9. Okay.
And it, you know, what adds to that is the size difference between Fraser Brown and Luke McGrath, and he's unexpected. And look, for me, I think that is a very dangerous challenge.
Yeah, I'm seeing it here.
Well, it's like a little neighbours going for the ball. I think
Yeah, I think here, to be fair,
Yeah, I think
he may think he was going for the ball,
Correct,
so it's
yes.
a penalty only.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Fraser Brown doesn't look.
But I honestly believe that number 2 thought he had the ball, so it's just a mistiming and a penalty only on this occasion, okay? There's nothing. Yeah.
Well, there's the explanation. I think because Fraser Brown doesn't look, he just assumes that Luke McGrath's going to get the ball. The ball's moving towards Luke McGrath, and he just hits whatever's in front of him. It's rash. It's dangerous from Fraser Brown, and is probably quite lucky there. And it was a big collision.
I appreciate that you thought he may have the ball, and that's what's a penalty only. Just be careful, okay? Thank you.
Okay, Fraser Brown gets away with a warning.
On the line, please, lads.
Good attacking position for Leinster, though.
2 metres.
Yeah, see Van der Fleer stands as scrum half. Tried the driving line out earlier on, but they defended really well earlier, Glasgow.
James Ryan with the catch. Here comes the Leinster drive.
We need to use it next stoppage.
Scott Fardy with a black head cap on right at the front of the Leinster maul. Now it comes to the 3/4 who are bunched very tight. Jordan Lamb is very wide, but everybody else is around Cian Healy on the charge. Jack Conan gets into the 22.
Stay there.
Ryan again. Sexton. Robbie Henshaw.
Okay, tackle now.
Kyle Steyn holds him up. Cian Healy sort of hopping forward. It works though.
Yeah, this is where they're normally so efficient, Leinster. They just keep the ball, go through the phases. That's it usually.
Famous last words. Here they come. Comes Tommy Seymour. It's Fraser Brown. The front rows get it to Adam Hastings. Space, but the touchline absorbs the ball.
And a really good kick from Adam Hastings. Good play as well. Obviously Tommy Seymour got up on the line, managed to get the loose ball as a pass. Was it Cronin who left it? And the ball just pops up, fortunately, but then he reacts to a quite great tackle from Henshaw. And then from there it was Fagerson to Batty, the 2 front rows, who knew that the ball had to be moved quickly. and Hastings knew the space was in behind. This game's just going from one end to the field to the other.
Adam Hastings, and here's Sean Crowden. Glasgow pick off a line-up. Jamie Batty comes away with it. Ali Price waits. Gibbons. Matt Ferguson, the back row, take it forward 3 or 4 yards. Then Fraser Brown from the front row. Johnny Gray from the second row. Cummins, Gray's partner. All the forwards. Jamie Batty, who started it. Still the forwards. Ferguson. Just the 5 metres to go. Under orders to use it from Nigel Owens. Leinster have slowed it down in defence. Batty. It's getting even tighter among the forwards. Still under control of the Glasgow forwards. Gray again. Cummins. Doing 3 yards. It's a try. Matt Ferguson opens the scoring, and Celtic Park comes to life.
Well, I was just watching a little about Leinster when they get the opposition 22. They keep the ball, they patient, they go through the phases. But Glasgow just out-Leinstered Leinster. Now we see, first of all, they steal the line-up, but then there's the patience and the power from Glasgow. You associate with the silky skills of the Glasgow backline, but it's just the power plays. Fraser Brown, Scott Cummins, carried into the heart of the Leinster defence, and that man Ferguson, who's been sensational this season, no stopping him from 3 metres out.
We said last week that Glasgow were so efficient because they attacked space, and that's another example there of Matt Ferguson just looking up, seeing the space ahead of him. There's Hastings chips over the extra 2, but Ferguson scans for the space, even though he's picking and going, even though he's first over the ball, he sees the space right next to the breakdown. It gets low and hard at the line. Ali Price has used that delay pass on 2 or 3 occasions to try and bring in the blitz defence of Leinster. There's the identification of space, and the pick and go from Ferguson driving through Cronin to score.
Oh, it's the Glasgow youngsters. Scott Cummings is just 22, Ferguson just 20. DTH van der Merwe manages to hang on to the restart. Fraser Brown against his opposite number, Sean Cronin. And Stuart Hogg has to get it away quickly. It must be 4. Gary Ringrose. Leinster strike back, and it's a soft one.
Well, that's a champion size dude, and strike back right away. The Leinster fans are delighted, they're outnumbered, but Gary Ringrose gets to the charge down. Stuart Hogg looked to almost accelerate onto the ball to get his clearance kick away. I think it was Sexton who got the charge down. Ringrose was quick enough to react and get the score. I'll take it back to McGrath. It's quick, off the line. Hogg under pressure, and then the ball just spins on the turf, and Ringrose gets there.
Well, you spoke about at the start of the game, Eddie, how narrow the dead ball lines are. The spin of that ball just kept it on the park. A great play from Luke Rogar. You know, 9 times out of 10 you don't get the charge done, but the one time you do manage to get pressure on the ball leads to a try. And as Chris said, that was crucial, because that was a big testing moment for Leinster. They've had their opportunities in this game, and then they've gone 7 points to 0 down. Needed to come straight back into this game just to quiet the crowd down as well, because this crowd were on their feet and the Glasgow team were up, and that's a real body blow.
Luke McGrath does so well because he stays inside and he times his run, so he has to come from the back foot, and he times it, gets in the kicking plane of Stuart Hogg, so he manages to charge down, and then not only McGrath going, Ringrose goes expecting to charge down, and he gets his reward.
And gets his backspin on the ball as well. Johnny Sexton. Well, he's missed with his first 2, so Glasgow stay in the lead, but now by only 2 points.
Yeah, it's just chasing lost causes, and as I mentioned, a lot of the time you don't get your due rewards, but that is such a key score. Yes, Sexton's missed the kick, but it just settles Leinster down, because as much experience as they've got in that team, they'll still have a few demons from the Saracens final a few weeks ago, and they needed that to bounce back straight away.
Tommy Seymour with the follow-up tackle on Jack Conan. It is a feature of Stuart Hogg's kickoffs. They do hang high. Leinster are picking up more scraps, but Glasgow on this occasion, through Callum Gibbons again, can hit close to the Leinster 22. Hastings keeps it short to Matt Ferguson. Hogg from fullback, the little dink. Tommy Seymour in pursuit. Oh, and Leinster got themselves in a pickle, 3 of them. They have got the advantage of the lock-on, but that was close. Scott Fardy restores a bit of order. It's a sort of free play for Leinster. They have the advantage. McGrath.
Advantage over.
It's that kick attack coming into it again. We keep mentioning the greasy surface here, but Stuart Hogg that time, you could see it almost desperately wanted to run, but he just dinked it onto his foot, put it in the corner, and it's a difficult corner to get out of there for Leinster.
That's why they're so dangerous, Glasgow, aren't they? You know, you're expecting them to sort of just go through the phases like they did for their try, but they don't. They flash back, they give it to Hogg. He's got free rein, you know, one-on-one he can stand you up. He's got unbelievable skill set as well to beautifully put it into Coffin's corner.
As out of respect for Leinster's defence as well, they were a really solid blue line. It was coming up quickly, and there's not a lot of space there, so a good option to put it in behind. And Leinster are getting a bit of joy from that short box kick from McGrath as well.
Watching on from the touchline, Chris Fasaro not playing today. Chris, this is, my goodness, it's a very nervy, exciting affair, isn't it?
Yeah, just ask the boys just to quicken the line up a little bit, okay? A bit slow, you're coming away, you're then slowly coming in.
Do you talk a lot about controlling a situation after you've scored, and will they be disappointed with what happened? Steyn comes and gets the pass away to Stuart Hogg. DTH van der Merwe. Oh, what a tackle by Ringrose. Still in possession though. Glasgow right up to the corner. We have a penalty advantage, Glasgow. Free play for them. Jamie Batty, still that free play. They can go as wide as they like now, or as tight as they like through Steve Cummins. Scott Cummins. Glasgow still in control. Ali Price, his first little dart of the game, presents it. The forwards take over again. Fraser Brown, we have another advantage. Scott Cummins again, that close, right up against the goal post itself. Nigel Owens says short. Glasgow still in control. If they go to the right, surely they must score. Ali Price digging it out. Here they go. Hastings. Oh, couldn't get the pass away.
Stay back. Leave him. Step back.
Still there for Glasgow.
Stay out. Don't touch that.
The forwards again. Johnny Gray sets it up. Price, Hogg, interception, James Lowe. Still that advantage being played. Oh, the let-off, James Lowe was away. Penalty though to Glasgow.
And if you're Leinster, you take the 3 points all day long under huge pressure there. all comes to the most underrated pass in rugby, the bounce pass. Bounces into Kyle Stein's hand, who always seems to beat the first tackler. But watch the defence of Jordan Larmour and the desperation from Gary Ringrose to make the hit in the corner as well. They looked in for all money, Glasgow, but superb defence from the outside backs from Leinster. And just to come away with conceding 3, the Leinster won't be too disappointed.
Yeah, that defence is, as you hear, Nigel.
Just be careful on your defence, please, okay? Thank you, back you go now, thank you.
Yeah, be careful on the defence, just getting offside the 2 penalty defences near their own line. But the defence here, the bounce pass, Stein picks up, it's his second or third break, but then this is just all about effort from Gary Ringrose. Watch him flashing it near screen there. Larmour does well to buy time, but then Ringrose is just effort and commitment. He flies over, stops a certain try, and then later on in the phase, it was Johnny Sexton, I think, who made the tackle on Hastings right on the line. And again, just I think it's the right thing for Glasgow to do, to chip over the 3 points. And as Martin says, I think Leinster will be quite happy just to concede 3. Good attack, but phenomenal defence.
Adam Hastings adds 3. Glasgow into double figures, 10 points to 5.
I thought finals were supposed to be tight, turgid affairs. This opening 22 minutes has been anything but that. You know, full credit to both teams. Both looking to play. Both have had opportunities as well.
Behind the line, behind the line, yeah, please, that's all, yeah.
Johnny Sexton and Nigel Owens have a little discussion about
Thank you.
where to start. Johnny Gray catches above his head. Fraser Brown, 2 meets 2, the hookers.
Turnover's good.
Turnover ball by Leinster.
Turnover was good. Knocked on.
Yeah, he's really unlucky there, Cian Healy. Fantastic work. Gets over the ball, rips the ball, but then just loses it forward as
You okay too?
he wins the turnover, and that could have been a crucial one. You know, he's struggling to exit again, Glasgow on there. You know, he does really well, so strong. Cian Healy just loses the ball forward.
He's so good at that, Cian Healy. He was unlucky not to win a penalty early on in the game for the same thing this time. The beauty of this is you see so many players just parking up over the ball and stopping the attack, but his mindset is not only to stop the attack but to win the turnover, and you've got to respect that, because so many players just get in that position and hold. He's winning the turnover, and unfortunately, just from his point of view, he spilled it forward, and Glasgow have another opportunity to clear after, well, scoring points. There's a bit of space up this left-hand side. If Glasgow can get a reasonable scrum, Luke McGrath is going to have a lot of space to cover here. Jordan Larmour's sitting back a bit.
Nigel Owens just having a look towards, who is it this side? Is it John Lacey, is it?
Yeah, John Lacey on the near side.
I thought it was okay, so let's get the ball in and I'll deal if it's not steady, okay?
Obviously, you know, huge experience in that Leicester front row. Cian Healy, Cronin, Furlong, been there, done that, got the T-shirt up against sort of younger back row on him, Barty, Brown and Ferguson.
Well, the weight will be coming on Xander Ferguson, mostly on the Glasgow tight head. That's where Nigel Owens is positioned himself.
Oh, here we go, free kick.
Behind, pressure.
Quickly taken, we're underway. Jack Conan.
Hands away.
Cian Healy. No ground made that time. Excellent tackle by Xander Ferguson. McGrath tried to switch the play. Scott Fardy read what the scrum half was up to. Sexton to Cronin. Rob Harley with the tackle. It's gone loose again. A lot of bouncing balls we've seen.
It's one of those horrible screams you hear when a player goes into the jackal area, Fraser Brown, and his knees got trapped. We can hear it from up in commentary. you're in such a vulnerable position when you get over that ball and there's bodies flying in from all sides. Because sometimes, you know, your knee or your leg gets trapped in there. That's so unfortunate for Fraser Brown.
Okay.
Yeah, it's. You just saw the tail end of it, and I heard his reactions and saw his body language, and he's as tough as they come, Fraser Brown. I really hope it's not as bad as it looks. You may not want to see that.
Before the game about
just that left knee, isn't it? Just that force of Tadhg Furlong.
You control, nothing moves the ball.
Whether it's his ankle or his knee, we're not quite sure, but that obviously is no good.
You need to go in, you need to settle. When the ball comes in, then we can go. On the far side of me, yes. Yeah.
Nigel Owens and Xander Fagerson are discussing the scrum, but
okay. Yeah, I reset that one because
the damage has been done to Fraser Brown at the breakdown situation.
Let me deal with that then.
There's Gregor Townsend looking on as well.
Coach of Scotland looking on. And the trouble is, I mean, the World Cup is still a long way away, but there are important preparation games to come, and you do a knee and you could be talking months rather than weeks.
It's such a shame, isn't it? It's been such a spectacle. First 25 minutes and
just right. Stewart, 24 years old, comes on.
Well, Grant Stewart is a similar player in many ways. He's comfortable in the back row. His wonderful footwork. He's a brilliant attacking player. Hasn't played a lot of professional rugby, but he's dynamic, he's quick, he suits how Glasgow play. So there won't be a change in style of play, but you lose a lot of experience, a hard edge, and a really good player in Fraser Brown. But Grant Stewart, well, he'll bring excitement level as well.
I'm used to yelling by now. Yeah, but if the ball is not, clearly out of the ruck, then it's still in. But if I feel it's out, I'll let you know it is out. Yeah.
Just been really impressed with the Glasgow pack, their physicality, you know, particularly in the loose. Even when Leinster are getting down into the 22, they're struggling to get over that gain line. On the flip side, we've seen when Glasgow get in that Leinster 22, they're winning the physical battle, they're winning that gain line. It's something really coming into the game. You think that Leinster would have the hedge, but so far in this first 25 minutes, huge kudos to this Glasgow pack.
I think a lot of it comes from the carry, or when you've got the ball in your hands. Glasgow always look to find a shoulder or an edge, or trying, just move a defender, which creates quick ball. And if you get your next phase comes of quick ball, the defence aren't set, and time again they can just get in behind, and it creates quick ball, and their attack functions from that. Leinster are a more direct carrying team, and with emotion heightened and the physicality in defence, that bit of evasion I think works better than just the sheer out brute force.
The applause for Fraser Brown. His day is done. Stephen Ferris watching. Stephen, you know a thing or two about knees. Fraser Brown.
Yeah, we wish him all the best.
To a huge round of applause. Gregor Townsend looks on, the Scotland coach worried.
Yeah.
Play on the field, about to resume.
And it's a baptism of fire, isn't it, for young Grant Stewart? On a lot earlier than you thought you were going to be on, and you're up against that hugely experienced, influential Leinster front row.
Jordan Lama waits to the right of this scrum. It looks as if McGrath is going the other way. No, it's coming the way of Jordan Lama. Here he is. DTH van der Merwe hangs on to an ankle. Scott Fardy drives up. Sean Cronin. Sexton. Robbie Henshaw back to Sexton. Rob Kearney up from fullback. No knock on, says Nigel Owens. Leinster working their way towards the corner, and they really rarely give the ball beyond the forwards in these situations. Rhys Ruddock drives it up. Josh van der Fleer. Now they might give it some width. No, they don't. James Ryan Ruddock.
Yeah, this is where Johnny Sexton usually stands behind in backfield, scanning. No interest in the ball.
Conan, and now Gary Ringrose, the try scorer, after Robbie Henshaw drove it up. Conan couldn't free his hands. Van der Merwe with the tackle on him.
You lost your feet. You nearly had it, you lost your feet.
James Ryan.
Cal Stein's taking a bang as well in the contact area. He's struggling to get back into position in midfield.
Looks like a dead leg for Stein. He's in the line, but he's hobbling. Nothing's coming his way yet. Tight furlong. Healy. Healy scores! As simple as that, as dynamic as that. The huge strength of the Leinster prop.
Yeah, that's a Leinster of old, isn't it? Why they won the double last season's just once they get in that 22, it's just power, it's just execution, precision in that contact area. And players like Cian Healy, you know, a metre, 2 metres out the line, Tadhg Furlong first, takes 3 men to stop him, and Cian Healy just stiffing out. It's just a mismatch. Scott Fardy right behind him, uses that extra leg drive, and he's over. Just seems to have taken the sting out of them, Glasgow, that Fraser Brown injury.
Yeah, you could see almost from the scrum, the reset, it looked as if Leinster had targeted that initial phase immediately after the injury. You smell blood and they're really gone after it, and they were so narrow that there was no option really to go wide. Jordan Larmour was the only one outside, but you could only kick to him really, so you knew what was coming. Glasgow needed a big collision to try and slow the momentum, but Leinster are so effective, they're so good at keeping possession, and they've got so many big dynamic carriers that they eventually make their way over the line, and Cian Healy, who's had a cracking start to the game, gets his try.
Johnny Sexton missed with his first 2. This time, gets it right. Had a bit of fade on it.
Yeah, Chris is the goal kicking expert, so I'll let him critique the goal kicking, but
listen, you don't hit bandits when they go over, but it's pretty fortunate there, judging by missing his first 2. It's important to get that, but there's the power of Healy. 2-3 Glasgow players, Gibbons goes low. I'm not sure who it was at the far side who gone high, but Healy, with his power and his experience, gets himself over the line.
Tommy Seymour chases again, but Jack Conan safely catches. Luke McGrath under pressure from Ali Price. Ball did go out of play, or hit the line, which is out of play.
That's the first time there's been real pressure on McGrath's box kick. And yeah, it's a great kick, it's a great clearance kick, obviously a different kick to what he did before, but they need to get pressure because Leinster get a lot of momentum from that box.
there's a big moment in the game, you know, 30 minutes in, we've lost one of their talisman, Fraser Brown. Glasgow, big throw for young Grant Stewart, and just see they suck the air out of the crowd a little bit, that Leinster try as well, so big couple of minutes coming up for Glasgow.
Safely thrown, safely caught, Glasgow safely underway. Sam Johnson, the centre. Here's the other one, Kyle Stein. He seems to be moving okay. Matt Ferguson. Batty. Barges through Robbie Henshaw. That doesn't happen very often. Here's the new hooker, Grant Stewart. We're underway. Bouncing ball. Well picked up. Glasgow still on.
He's gone. Stay there, good man.
James Ryan was the good man there. Hastings. Johnson. Oh. Callum Gibbons just about held on to it.
Look at the blue line of Leinster defenders. They're not overcommitting at the breakdown.
Ferguson sets it up. Hastings looks at the options. Tries to get the ball going. Glasgow wide. They're very comfortable with ball in hand. DTH Van der Merwe has to go to ground, sliding backwards, but Johnny Gray not held. Cummings.
Yeah, Chris is right, you know, they're just picking their moments less as to where they go in and compete the ball. Fardy, you'd see go in, Cian Healy as well. The rest just sort of stay out and fan and keep numbers on their feet.
Johnny Gray made a couple of yards. So gathering momentum, the Glasgow attack as they come this way. Staying with Hogg, having to go in to secure the ball.
Crowd not happy with that collision from James Lowe then.
Harley, Hastings, the change of tactic, got some top spin on it. But Luke McGrath, good covering. Hogg, tempted to go quickly, doesn't.
Yeah, you'd say that's a win for Leinster, you know, Glasgow going through 10, 15 phases around that sort of 40, 50 metre line, not getting any real gains. There's James Lowe, it's just a coming together, isn't it? The crowd are not happy. But good defence from Leinster.
Yeah, it's just a solid blue line, isn't it? They're not overcommitting, as you say. If they see an opportunity to try and get the steal or turn over the lad, maybe one an extra body, a second body, but the defence is so well drilled. Glasgow searched for space, couldn't find it, eventually put Book to ball, which was probably the right thing to do, but Luke McGrath was so sharp in the backfield. Now we've got Sean Cronin getting some treatment. You can see that the territory statistics there, that's statistics. Glasgow 61%, and well, it's just Leinster, isn't it? They know what to do in big games, and striking back immediately after going behind was important, and then almost just tiptoeing their way to that second try.
Well, I suppose the game they lost, Martin, in the European Cup final, Champions Cup final, was against Saracens, who sort of are just uber Leinster.
Yeah, it's you know, that game was on fine margins as well, and Leinster are used to being in these big occasions. You know, they know the emotion is sort of going to die down after 30 minutes, and that's when you get into your systems, you stick to your game plan. You know, they kept their patience, and that's what I'm saying. It's a big sort of 10 minutes now, just before half-time for this Glasgow Warriors team. There's a lot of these players, it's the biggest game they would have played in their lives. How they react now to just a little bit of adversity.
I don't want to second guess if you've got two men in here or not, okay? So get a bit in a bit quicker then, please. Make sure if you're the receiver, you make it notified that you are the receiver. Yes, but get in there. Wait. Time on.
Grant Stewart, overthrown. Van der Fleer leaves it for Johnny Sexton, who leaves it behind. It's back with Glasgow. Here is the new hooker making amends.
Advantage over.
Ferguson from the front row. Hastings, infield to Harley, it's gone loose again. A little bit of a struggle to hang on to the ball at the moment.
Yes, brilliant line speed and timing from Josh van der Fleer in particular there. Off the defensive line, right in the face of Adam Hastings. Does well initially to get his side out of trouble. Hastings from the overthrow dislodges the ball, but then the line speed, there he is, he just turns, it looked a lot inside, but the numbers are there. Good contact from Ruddock on Harley, opposite number. Just gone up a level, haven't they, the last 4 or 5 minutes physicality wise, Leinster.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, when you look at defensive statistics, missed tackles are bad. Everybody hates missed tackles, but sometimes if you fly up so quickly and you force the attack to do something they don't want to do, yes, you miss a tackle, but you're actually forcing the defence into a different area. That's nice to see. Fraser Brown taking in the rest of the action, and say, repeat, we really hope he's not as badly injured as we thought, but that line speed just puts so much pressure on the opposition, especially when the ball's a little bit wet and it takes longer to catch and pass and get your skills away under pressure. So a missed tackle is bad, but if it forces the attack to go somewhere else, it can be something that you can recover from.
Good position for Leinster, middle of the pitch.
Yeah, so they're setting up as well. Johnny Sexton and Gary Ringrose directly behind the scrum.
Yeah, they'll attack. If the scrum wheels one way or the other, they'll attack where they have favourable space.
Bind. Set. Hold it there. Keep it up, you two. Keep it up. You keep that up.
Penalty from the scrum. We'll never know what Leinster had up their sleeve.
Yeah, I think that's the second time now Leinster will Leinster will definitely back themselves in this scrum. I think they tried to keep the last scrum in at the back to eke out the penalty.
Pulling down.
He's penalising James Batty for pulling down. Very clear, obviously, with Nigel Owens. Big decision here for Sexton. Similar place to where he missed his first kick, but backing himself.
Yeah, I think it's probably the right decision. It will be. Well, it's a little bit shorter, we think, the pitch inside the football pitch. So as much as maybe 3 or 4 metres shorter. So it's probably from 42 metres out there, dead in front. And what the goal kickers do, you have to know why you miss. So when he hit the first one from almost the same place he missed, the process he then has to go through is putting right what went wrong, if you know what went wrong. So that's the nugget of information. If you miss the kick and you don't know what to do, when you've got this situation 20 minutes later, you're almost hoping it goes over. But he's such an experienced kicker, you'll know why he missed the last one out to the right just a little, and he'll go through his process to try and put his side further ahead.
All his processes are made a little easier by the lack of rain now. It stopped. Certain impatience. Johnny Sexton not put off.
Yeah, that's why he's one of the best in the world and has been for the last decade. Not phased, doesn't matter how big the occasion is. Just takes it upon himself. That's a big 3 points as well.
That's a big kick. It was a perfect strike, wasn't it? And you could see his reaction afterwards. He punched the air, he gave himself a celebration, and he deserved it because there's a bit of pressure on that kick from Sexton.
Well played. Jack Conan caught the ball and gave the pass to James Lowe. Stuart Hogg, he'd love a chance to run, but he plays it safe. Sexton waits. Hogg follows up with a huge tackle. James Ryan.
Not held, he wasn't held.
Sexton back on his feet. Looks a little rocked by that. No wonder. I think he's just told Luke McGrath, I don't want it for a moment. Here's McGrath. Hastings waits. Catches. Gets away from Rob Carney. It's Scott Fardy who follows up. Xander Ferguson. Hogg. James Lowe. That hasn't gone far enough. Well taken. Matt Ferguson, the long way round. The good pass to Hogg. Hogg, the little dip for himself. That's very well read by Jack Conan. Healy. Held by Cummins. But Healy, again, the power of the prop. Excellent work, DTH van der Merwe. Missed a few early on. That's more like it. Now then, a chance. Here's new hooker, Grant Stewart, up into the Leinster half. Hastings takes on Lowe, beats him. Jamie Batty. Hastings is out of action for the moment. Here's Matt Ferguson driving on. Hastings back in play. Cummins played well the second row, getting through the yards and the carries. Stain. Ringrose tried to rip the ball from him. It's still with Glasgow. Harley drops it.
Don't touch it, the back is not gone.
What do Leinster dare do from so deep?
Leave it! Vantage not gone. Outside.
McGrath.
Vantage over.
Stuart Hogg waits and catches. Advantage over. Hogg does well. Ali Price. Callum Gibbons on the wing. Jamie Batty. Ali Price back to Van der Merwe. Xander Fagerson. Leinster form their very disciplined blue wall and wait in defence and then rush forward. Scott Fardy leading that charge. Scott Cummings getting through the work again. Hastings, the inside pass to Sam Johnson. Matt Fagerson bounces off Sean Cronin. It's gathering momentum. The Glasgow drive, Ali Price this time, just to vary things. The crowd senses it too. Leinster have done well to slow it all down. Fagerson sets it up. The other Fagerson, Matt from the back row. It's there for Price. Sam Johnson comes away with it. Johnson tearing himself away from the Leinster players. Hastings goes long to DTX Van der Merwe, and Jordan Lama read it all too well.
Just lost their patience there, Glasgow. Big moment in the game just before half-time.
Just on half-time. It's been a little... It got off to a breathless start. We had the pause for the injury to Fraser Brown. There's a try scorer, Matt Fagerson. Leinster have scored 2, and Leinster lead at half-time by 15 points to 10.
Guinness PRO14 will defend our title sponsor, Guinness. Our partners, Gilbert Rugby, Sport Pezza, Macron, Ronseal, Ross Nutrition, and our official final series partners, Big Red Cloud, Fitbit, Dacia, Energia, Air, Westland, Apex, and The Times, plus today's host broadcaster, Premier Sports, for their continued support. Sport Pezza are proud to be the official betting partner for Guinness PRO14. Make it count and register at sportpezza.uk and claim your free £10 bet.
Ronseal is a proud partner of the Guinness PRO14 Final Series. Go to Ronseal Pocket Parent on Facebook Messenger and you'll get all the DIY help you need. Ross Nutrition is a proud partner of the Guinness PRO14 Final Series. Discover the finest sports nutrition products available at rossnutrition.com. Big Red Cloud online accounts is delighted to partner with the Guinness PRO14 referees, helping small business owners run a more profitable business. Take a free trial at bigredcloud.com and see just how easy it is.
Live boldly on the pitch and off with the new Fitbit Versalite Edition. The health and fitness smartwatch. Fitbit proud sponsors and partners of the Guinness PRO14 Final Series. Dacia, driven to partner the Guinness PRO14 Final Series. For rugged reliability off the pitch, take a test drive at your local Dacia dealer today. Energia is a proud partner of the Guinness PRO14 Final Series and Ireland's fastest growing energy provider. They've been supplying power all across Ireland for over 20 years. Make the conversion now at energia.ie. Air Sport is a proud partner of the Guinness PRO14 Final Series and Ireland's leading sports broadcaster. Visit airsport.ie now for more information.
Westland is a proud partner of Guinness PRO14 Final Series. Put your garden in safe hands with Westland's Safe Lawn Feed.
Rugby Union and Glasgow Warriors Supporters Club for their support for today's Guinness Pro14 final. Team final.
Please welcome back Leinster Rugby!
Park, you have been magnificent so far. Let's do it for the second half. Please welcome onto the field your Glasgow Warriors!
His players has been delivered. He must now take his role in the stand. The rain comes down hard. Stuart Hogg, his last half in a Glasgow Warriors shirt. Matt Ferguson, try scorer in the first half. There's wonderful home support for Glasgow. They are 5 points adrift. The rain is falling. Johnny Sexton, having missed 2 kicks, has landed his last 2. Well, if you play a running game, as Glasgow do, that's not good. The final half of the Guinness Pro14 rugby season is underway. Grant Stewart, the hooker who came on when Fraser Brown was injured. He's been very dynamic too, Grant Stewart. Callum Gibbons takes it up to Glasgow's own 22, Price.
Outside.
Gets the pass away, a bit pinned back at the moment. Johnny Gray a little deeper inside his own 22, and here comes the clearance from Adam Hastings. Long kick to James Lowe, excellent clearance by Adam Hastings.
Yeah, perfect kick, wasn't it? We see the conditions really coming down now, but Glasgow again, the first instant to try and play, they moved the ball a little bit wider off 9 and then didn't get any change at all, so Adam Hastings drops back, and well, that's up to the Leinster 10-metre line. It's an excellent exit from Glasgow.
Sean Cronin, Cian Healy, the messenger.
Yeah, if you're Glasgow, you've got to put pressure on this Leinster line-out as well. Greasy conditions, get somebody up.
Scott Fardy at the front takes the sort of safety-first ball, and Cronin does the safety-first thing of driving that ball forward or steering it. Now then, Tommy Seymour inside to his old playing partner Stuart Hogg. Now then, Stuart Hogg, what has he got in this last half? He'd love to do more runs like that. Back to Seymour. By some distance, the Warriors leading try scorer, but that is what happens in the rain.
Just takes a split second. Johnny Gray looked up before he caught the ball. Spills in. That's a giveaway from a Glasgow Warriors point of view.
The good thing about this from Stuart Hall, well, there's lots of good things, but he didn't just blindly kick it because the rain's coming down and he was in his own 22. He scanned, he realised the chase was good on the right hand side, good on the left, but the space was up the middle. And then after all that good work, it's a simple error. I think both teams will understand there'll be errors, especially in these conditions in the second half, but Leinster will want a set piece game.
Yeah, and talking of set pieces, fascinating to see what Leinster, they're definitely on top in the scrums. You know, Nigel Owens has penalised Glasgow Warriors on the last 2 occasions. Expect Jack Conan to keep this at his feet, go for the second shove, try and win another penalty.
Yeah, you sense that Jack Conan will hold this in at number 8.
Well, they've won a couple of penalties at scrum time already, Leinster, and especially with the rain coming, you just imagine it'll maybe hang at the back at the scrum half, or Jack Conan's feet just that little bit longer, looking to win that penalty.
Good news for Glasgow, it's easing.
It's just going to come and go, isn't it? But the ball's wet, the surface is wet.
Takes the contest, shoulder out.
Yeah, just have a little word there with
Don't close the gap.
Cian Healy on the far side to keep the shoulder out.
Yes, sir, of course, sir, said Cian
In
Healy.
fairness to Nigel Owens, he wouldn't have any preconceived ideas going into this scrum. You know, he'll referee each scrum on his own individual merit.
Set. Hold it there. Keep it up, lads. Good. Bind up, keep it good.
Good scrummage for
Good
Leinster.
scrum from Glasgow.
Just starting to go a bit, but it's safely in the hands of James Lowe. Adam Hastings has to haul down the big New Zealand winger. James Ryan carries on the good work. Healy out of the scrum into midfield. Josh van der Fleer a little quicker. Rhys Ruddock. It's such a familiar, methodical Leinster way of doing things. Tyke Furlong the latest. Sexton. Sean Conan was slipping there. Johnny Sexton tries to go through Grant Stewart. Slowed up for Luke McGrath, but now he has it. Healy, Ringrose. Robbie Henshaw says we've been dithering a bit. Let's get down there.
Yeah, it's good play from Robbie Henshaw. You know, you're in that sort of grey area where, you know, you could give a penalty in the contact area and all of a sudden you're 5 metres from your line. So just puts the pressure back on Glasgow. You know, young Grant Stewart, I'm sure they'll put pressure on him in the line out. Going nowhere really. Good sensible kick. You know, you've got a 5-point lead as well. You're not chasing the game. So ping Glasgow back.
Grant Stewart to Johnny Gray, off the top. Matt Ferguson. Kyle Steyn. He's kept Hugh Jones on the bench. Into Hogg. But Glasgow having to play a lot of this football deep in their own half. Chance now for Hastings. He's being held up by Sexton and Conan. And Healy's there as well. Stripped in. They've got the ball back on the Leinster side. Ruddock to Cronin. Batty tackles and goes over the ball, but it's there for McGrath. Healy. Big game from Cian Healy today. James Lowe. I thought Jordan Lama seems to lose it, but it's there with Leinster. Gary Ringrose. Van der Fleer. That did go forwards that time.
It's a real arm wrestle, isn't it? You know, with very greasy conditions, you can see players are targeting the ball. It's so difficult when you're running at that speed to keep holding. There's lots of spillage, lots of knock-ons, and understandably so as well in these greasy conditions.
Yeah, Glasgow needed that sort of big impact on Van der Fleer, who's carried really well in the second half. Actually, a different type of carrier, really comes in a late arc and then really accelerates through the ball. But that time he just lost possession. And the talent, Johnny Gray was involved in it. I think it was Matt Ferguson coming from the outside and just chopping him down. But that's what Glasgow have to do. They have to try and force that error.
Okay, lads. Time out.
Yeah, you just got to target the ball to the defensive side, you know, one low, one hit the ball, because it's so difficult to keep holding this weather. And you know, we've seen it again from Glasgow, Chris, even inside their own 22. The last thought, even in these conditions, you know, is to kick the ball. It's high risk, high reward. Really back this skill set.
I mean, they have kicked probably more today than they usually do due to the conditions. Hastings had a couple of good kicks in the first half, popping it in behind Stuart Hogg as well. But ideally, I think they'd like to play that rugby just, I don't know, another 20 metres further up the field. If you do force a penalty, then it's within kickable range. Or if there is a mistake, you've got obviously closer to go to the touchline, to try line. But they'll keep playing the rugby at Glasgow. They won't change their principles. It's brought them success. It's given them a tremendous season so far, and they'll back their skills.
Here we go, in front of
How many was?
a record crowd for the Pro 14. Sam Johnson suddenly has space. A well-worked set-piece move by Glasgow into the Leinster half. Xander Fagerson, there is a trail of bodies. Another Glasgow player down, but they're still in possession, still on the march. Johnny Gray delivers. A Leinster player is down too. I think it's Cian Healy. Jamie Batty
14
takes
on 14
it on
at the minute.
Hastings. Hogg beats one, takes three to drag down the fullback. Here's Cummings for the first time in the second half. Glasgow on the press, real energy, real momentum now. Hastings to Stain, cuts back inside, held by Ringrose. It's there though, and now it's gone loose. Matt Fagerson has to go down. It's away for Gary Ringrose, low with him. Ringrose cuts around Stuart Hogg, low, tackled by Stain. End-to-end stuff here. Penalty advantage, Leinster, penalty given to Leinster.
Well, it's a mistake again, Glasgow's. Oh, it's a yellow card for Kyle Stain for slowing possession down because it came from a line break.
Good attacking position, numbers available. Too slow, 13.
Just absolute chaos out there, isn't it? Bodies left, right and centre, down injured, balls on the floor. Great work from Sexton to come through, just gets his foot. Lama comes behind, bobbles. I thought Ringrose was away, but Hogg does well to defend and cover.
Put himself there, he didn't move, he saw a quick ball down.
Yeah, it's Nigel Owen just saying, because of the line break. This is the line break. The ball was fortunate, came up to Ringrose after a great tackle, but Stuart Hogg does really well to buy himself time. Stain gets back, makes a tackle on low, but then doesn't roll away quick enough. There you can see him just lying on the ball. He's now trying to roll away, but it's too late because Glasgow's line has been breached. He's in behind. They've got numbers there. And Nigel Owen just sent him to the sin. But there's a turnover. Ringrose has defended well, but here he is in attack now.
And watch Ringrose, Van der Fleer, sorry, in the red head cap. He does so well because he doesn't Kyle Stain any chance of getting out there. He pins him in. There he just lands on top, and Kyle Stain's got no chance of moving there. And you can see the Leinster players appealing to Nigel Owens for the yellow card and the penalty. And in that attacking situation.
Oh, Johnny Sexton looks like he's going for the corner.
Big call.
Big call.
Well, Glasgow conceded last week. The tries they did concede against Ulster came from a driving maul close to the line. But imagine they're worked on that this week. You see Leo Cullen's getting animated. I think we'll see a drive here.
Sean Crowden to throw. Up goes Jack Conan. It'll come back to Josh van der Fleer at the back. He has it. James Lowe joins in. Robbie Henshaw joins in. Glasgow defend it well. Here's the Leinster forwards having to regroup. Cian Healy, try scorer in the first half. Glasgow have done well to withstand the first Leinster wave. Here comes the build-up to a second.
Stay back, push back.
Healy, tackled by Gray.
It's just the power game from Leinster. Somebody from Glasgow needs to get over that ball and win a turnover.
They did, they went for it.
Harley was so close then.
Van der Fleer. It's gone loose, it's gone forward. It's a penalty. Glasgow not releasing.
Yeah, I think a few phases earlier, Rob Harley was so close to winning that big turnover. That time I think he was stripped while he was on the floor, Josh Van der Fleer. And for me now, you take the 3, you go 2 scores ahead. In these conditions, that's such a big deficit to come back from.
Yeah, there's a penalty conceded. A lot of them have been quite close to the Glasgow line. I think we saw Leo Cullen mouthing the word points. His message has made it onto the field. I think Johnny Sexton fancied to maybe go back to the corner there and have another go. Well defended by Glasgow initially.
I think if you go to the corner, they threw to the front, which is the easiest place to defend a driving line out. So you sort of, if you're going to gamble, you gamble and go middle or back, and that's difficult. So it was easy for Glasgow to defend that front, but they've turned the power game on.
And then when it was defended there, they had Henshaw and James Lowe, and if you think Glasgow's yellow card is the midfield and Kyle Steyn, so they couldn't then, once it was defended at source by Glasgow, they couldn't then move it to where they had the numerical advantage because it added extra to them all. But that pressure from the guys in blue, just building and building close to the Glasgow line.
Johnny Sexton, 3 out of 5 for Sexton, 18 points to 10. Leinster now lead. It was a 1-score game, now it's a 2-score game. Changes in the Glasgow front row. Ollie Kevill comes on. Well, actually, is it because of the yellow card? Rob Harley got?
No, I think so. Ryan Wilson's come on. Great take.
Brilliantly taken by Tommy Seymour. Superb catch. He's chased all the restarts. This one comes to him. Ali Price, good pick-up, but again it's gone wrong for Glasgow.
Fantastic effort from Tommy Seymour. What a take from the kick-off.
It's so hard to take the ball above your head in 2 hands. Add in the fact that it's raining, and then add in the fact that the pressure. Look at the bodies and the pressure that he's under to try and catch. It's amazing technique. And not only to catch it, but then keep a hold of it as you're hitting the air, twist, turn, and get down and present. Good tackle with McGrath, though. Target again, as you said, Martin, targeting the ball.
Just target the ball in these conditions is so difficult, so greasy.
Tommy Seymour was having strapping on his ankle at half-time. Peter Horn is on standby to come on.
I think, when you look at Glasgow's bench, they do have real X-factor in the Horn brothers, Hugh Jones, so they have got players behind who can change the game.
For the moment, they are still down to 14 with Kyle Steyn in the bin.
This is actually a really good attacking opportunity for Leinster if their scrum's stable because of that sin bin. You're almost centre field, so you can attack either side.
I don't know why you are making all these issues. Get in the scrimmage. You've shown you can do it. Now do it, please. Keep the pressure off.
Do you think they will? We'll see. We'll see if they do it. But
head on his shoulder, keep the space.
But because it's centre field and Stuart Hawke has to cover the back. Look at the right hand side of the scrum there. That's the first area that Leinster will look to attack if they can arc the scrum towards this side. James Lowe's going to the right, but don't be surprised to see him flooding back down the left.
Bind. Set. Hold it there. Keep it up, lads. Keep it up.
Lowe already edging towards this near side. Oh, it's a good Glasgow scrimmage. All plans probably had to be cancelled. Good work between Conan and Henshaw.
Quick ball under pressure here, Glasgow.
Rob Kearney, Jordan Lama, Stuart Hogg read it well. Fends off the first attacker, manages to go to ground. And again, it's a bobble by Glasgow as they cling on to it this time. There's a fine rain in the air still. That ball very slippery. Ali Price takes a bit of pressure off the passers and distributors. Rob Kearney. Adam Hastings.
There's a bit of space in the left here for Leinster. The numbers up.
Lama again. Matt Ferguson back. Ooh. Number 8. Well, it's daring. And he's got away with it. Meaning Stuart Hogg, who was waiting for the pass. Ooh. He took his time again.
Ferguson did really well there, because if he just shoveled that ball back, there were all sorts of problems. But the young number 8 took it upon himself, has the athletic ability to get himself out of trouble, and his team has brilliant work from the young number 8.
Even before that, it's identification to cover that backfield. As you see a change in the midfield. Sam
Johnson off. Peter Horn on.
Peter Horn gives up. Sam Johnson's been outstanding this season for club and country. A real find. Now, Peter Horn brings a lot of experience, a lot of game sense. He'll be able to move the ball, have another attacking option.
He also likes that little kick, doesn't he?
He's very good skill set.
Luke McGrath just tells the forwards to keep it to themselves. Glasgow have slowed it up, but Leinster now come away with it, the ever-elusive feet of Jordan Lama. James Ryan, the defence suddenly got a bit dog-legged, and Ryan had a look at it. Robbie Henshaw. Ringrose, good tackle by Horn. Low. Sexton. Tommy Seymour scuttles back. Rob Kearney, the first on the scene. It's going to be an all. Hogg comes away with it. Callum Gibbons behind his own line. Well, they're forced into doing this. But it's going to be a 5-metre scrum Leinster put in. It's just all that years of experience, isn't it? You just see the plays here. Johnny Sexton on the ball, beautifully weighted kick. Kearney and Scott Fardy chasing up. Keep their composure. Don't dive on Seymour. They know they're in control of this position. Drive him over the 5 metres. They do absolutely superbly well, Hogg, to get away from there. But then it's just Ringrose on the outside, chasing down.
His follow-up tackle's good as well for Henshaw.
Henshaw is just putting them in Coffin's corner. All these big final experience from all the top players, all the experienced players coming to the fore for Leinster. More changes for Leinster at scrum half this time. George Horn joins brother Peter on the field. Ali Price is coming off.
Well, they're both similar scrum halves, both electric scrum halves. Like to attack around the breakdown. Ali Price has been physical as well today, but George Horn brings a spark. Expect the unexpected when he's in the field, but from his point of view, he's the wrong end of the field. This is Leinster, as Martin says, have all the pressure. They're just turning the screw here, and you just imagine if there's another try scored here or points taken here, it makes it even more difficult for Glasgow. This is an important scrum to defend, or a scrum to attack if you're Leinster.
Ollie Kebble is the son of Guy Kebble, who got a couple of caps for the Springboks back in the 90s. Important scrub for Ollie Kebble on the loose head side.
So often we've seen Leinster attack this left-hand side with that flat pass from Sexton. If this scrum's square, we see Ireland doing it as well, just fixing the defender and moving the ball to the extra man.
Such a difficult place to defend, you know. Yeah. If you're a back rower, if you're a flanker on either side, you know, your prop is screaming at you to stay on, to give him weight in the scrum. Your outside half and your centres want you to get off and cover them as well. They're down to 14 men. You know, even with 15, it's a difficult place. So fascinating to see which way they go, Leinster. In fairness to Glasgow, the last scrum, they did seem to put pressure on the Leinster pack.
Luke McGrath feeds the scrum, it's gone down.
Side's not steady. Now both sides get it steady.
Carl
Both
Steyn
sides steady. 3 black.
poised to come back, he can only look.
Shoulder out. Yeah, okay. Let me get up.
Yeah, the beauty of this,
Ferguson, sorry, Mark.
You're just looking. I'm just looking away Sexton and Ringrose, and they're standing directly behind the scrum again. And when you're down to 6 men in the back line, and if the scrum does go up one way or the other, so difficult to stop them 5 metres out.
As a potent attacking side, if you get a stable scrum here, you have to back yourself to score a try.
It's just so tempting to give Jordan Lama a goal early doors. Free kick! No, penalty.
Well, if Kyle Steyn comes back on here, they might kick the penalty. If he's still off, I think they'll take another scrum.
Well,
Steyn is back.
I take the points all day long here. Just chip away, make it 11 points. Sexton, I think, wants another scrum. He's the skipper. Interesting to see a shot of Leo Cullimore. He's not giving anything away there, Leo.
Let's do this cross one, I think. It's such a brilliant attacking opportunity. Nothing really changes on this left-hand side in terms of the attack for Leinster. Glasgow still have to put 2 players on their right. George Horn will be able to defend a little bit closer to this right-hand side because Kyle Steyn's back on his left. But it's still a brilliant attacking opportunity for Leinster.
And Sexton and Ringrose hover that close to the scrum, directly behind it. A little bit of argy-bargy then.
We were just chatting about him at half-time. We've seen Ryan Wilson, the ultimate wind-up artist. He's there trying to get a reaction out of the Leinster players.
We've spoken about things before the game. I want a good handle, I want total stability, and the both of you are going down. Now let always listen to me, please. If it continues, then you won't play further part in this game. So it's entirely up to you now. Is that clear? Hold the stability till the ball comes in, nothing moves, shoulder out, keep square. Let's go.
Clear message from Nigel Owens. I wonder what the little message to Callum Gibbons was.
Probably just have a little word in Nigel Owens' ear as captain about something they picked up in the coaching box. But this is a pivotal moment. The crowd sense it, the players know it. Pivotal moment in this match.
Xander Ferguson against Cian Healy, and Nigel Owens has come to see what they're up to rather than stay on that far side. Leinster readjust their scrummage. It's gone loose. Oh, Nigel Owens gives Leinster the second put in.
Well, they said use it. Nigel Owens said use it. Same ball, says it's spin round. I think Leinster a little bit fortunate there. I think as soon as you say use it and it's not whipped away and the ball ends up on Glasgow's side.
Yeah, normally that usually goes to the team that's not putting the ball in.
Didn't look like a 90-degree spin, did it?
No.
And it came late in the scrum as well. It wasn't initial. It was a decent context. And there it is. Say Luke McGrath, if I say use it.
Last quarter. Only 3 points in the second half, and they came to Leinster. Cronin strikes, scrum goes down. And we'll have more scrummaging without the penalty.
Just a slip. If the legs underneath are stronger, both sides.
Well, the seconds tick away, but they're The two characters behind the scrum, Gary Ringrose and Johnny Sexton in front of him. Johnny Sexton gives the little signs to Robbie Henshaw and James Lowe on the left-hand side. Conan picks up, here comes the move. It's Henshaw, tackled by Adam Hastings. Scott Fardy. Hasn't gone forward, yes it has gone forward. Listen to the crowd. "75 metres to go, 95 metres to go, and you get that cheer."
It's a big moment in the game. I didn't really think Corner needed to pick up at the base, but there's the pressure, McGrath. Glasgow still need to get out of this corner. But listen to the support, listen to the reaction, to the brave effort, the phenomenal effort of the 14-men Warriors, and then to hold out those scrums. There's changes in the front row coming on for Leinster as well.
Ed Byrne comes on, and it is Cian Healy who's going off.
He's had a really impressive game, Cian Healy. An outstanding game. Right smile on his face, walking off. He's had a big impact. Young bench, haven't they? You know, look at Leinster's bench, very young bench, all academy products.
Yeah, okay.
So they're the guys who are going to have to come on and seal this one out for Leinster.
Yeah, they're both from here, yeah. And it was a bit slip as well.
But from a real open, free-flowing first 40 minutes, it's become a real arm wrestle, isn't it? And it's as if Leinster have sort of sucked the life out of the game, just gone back to the Leinster of old.
The Glasgow scrum's improved as the game's gone on as well, isn't there? Some real pressure there. Yes, it's been penalised once or twice early on, but that's a reaction there from the Glasgow scrum. But they still have to use that again and get out of this corner. Leinster have all the experience. They'll probably attack this from a defensive point of view and really make it difficult for Glasgow.
Scrummage, same place, different put in. George Horn for Glasgow. Oh, it goes down again, and Glasgow get the penalty. Which is, a little bit of afters. Yeah. It's that strange smile of...
Look, the emotions are high there. There's lots of testosterone flying around the forwards, and you feel for Ed Byrne. He's come on cold off the bench, hasn't been involved in any of those previous half a dozen scrums, and he's penalised for going down early.
Clears the touch. Well, all the drama of the scrummage, it'll appeal to the Leinster scrummage coach, John Fogarty. What do you make of it all, John? Cheers, John. Here we go. James Lowe coming up to halfway. We're away from that scrummage corner. Lowe presents. James Ryan had to reset himself. Didn't get a full head of steam up.
Yeah, Leinster won't look to play in this area. You know, they use McGrath, they use Sexton, they go to the air, put the pressure back on Glasgow.
It's gone loose. It's there for Glasgow. Play on for the moment.
And that looks as if Glasgow got away one. They looked as if it came off Seymour's foot.
Gibbons. And Leinster's rigid blue line forms again. Hastings in a spot of bother. There is an advantage to Glasgow, but they're edging back towards scrummage corner. Johnny Gray. All change in the Leinster front row. Brian Byrne has joined twin brother Ed, and Andrew Porter is on as well. Horn. Oh, it's a good angle by brother Peter. Brothers everywhere. Good pick up, Grant Stewart. Hogwaits behind George Horn. at some stage, Glasgow are going to have to get down into Leinster half. Rob Kearney. Hogg waits. Oh, that's trouble for Kearney. Good catch, Stuart Hogg. Rob Kearney took the man out in the air.
Well, first and foremost, let's hope Stuart Hogg's okay. It was a nasty collision the way he hit the ground. And there's the emotion running over. Glasgow defending their player. My initial view was that Kearney was going for the ball, but he didn't connect in the air. And he certainly landed really awkwardly, Stuart Hogg. It doesn't... You have to protect the player in the air.
Nigel Owen is aiming for yellow. Stuart Hogg is aiming for the tunnel, and immediately Hugh Jones is on. Here we go.
Well, he's made contact with Stuart Hogg in the air. I think that could be a red card.
Just replay one more time, 2 seconds.
Depends where he lands. His shoulder, it could be yellow. If it's his head or neck, it's red.
I don't think it's his head, is it? Because Stuart, well, there is a protocol that Stuart Hogg has to go through.
Yeah, I'm just going to show you the landing as well, just to make sure.
It's just where he lands is going to be key to this decision, what colour the card is.
And a word for Ryan Wilson too.
I'm going to deal with this. I don't want you coming in here and grabbing players who are on the floor. Is that clear? And then causing a lot of issues when it doesn't need to be. If I see you coming anywhere near again, there'll be trouble. Rocky ball.
Now, Stuart Hogg is off. I'd be amazed if he
Timing wrong, let's see yellow card. Off you go.
doesn't come back. He'll be joined by Rob Kearney. So, Hogg off. Rob Kearney off. Hugh Jones already on.
Yeah, it's not really there's nothing to do with intent here. Rob Kearney gets up, but Stuart Hogg's in the air. That's a nice touch there. Stuart Hogg's in the air, and the responsibility of you as a chaser, you cannot make contact. And the reason it's yellow and not red is because it deemed he landed in his shoulder, but it was an awkward landing.
Yeah, his heart would have been in his mouth here, Rob Kearney. You know, he's only going to go on for the last 5 minutes of this game.
Glasgow, one-man advantage. If they are going to claw their way back, they have to strike quickly.
Yeah, Hugh Jones is on now to replace Stuart Hogg.
George Horn looks to see where the backs are. Grant Stewart is quite happy to keep it. Did James Ryan come flying in from the side there? Play on. Huge drive by the Glasgow forwards. Grant Stewart. George Horn has to play it down. Kyle Steyn held up. He needs help. He's done well to get down. It's the Maul, and Leinster have the put-in.
Bobby Henshaw and Gary Ringrose take the ball. That's fantastic work from the two Leinster centres. Steyn has taken out the middle. They've just double-teamed, clamped him and held him up, and that's a huge turnover for Leinster.
Yeah, it's the same play. Kyle Steyn's now on the right wing with Tommy Seymour at fullback and Hugh Jones into the midfield. Grant Stewart as well, not to risk going off the ball on his own. He's told to use it, and then it's a spot play in behind the ball, and behind Peter Horn, I think, to Kyle Steyn, but brilliant defence from Leinster. They target the ball. There's Ringrose, Henshaw's on the far side, arms on the ball, not working against each other, both working to hold Kyle Steyn up and winning a turnover. The intensity just hasn't dropped, has it? You know, I said it early on, it's as close to an international I've seen in club colours.
It's been a lot scrappier in this second half because of the conditions, but you're right, Chris, the intensity is phenomenal. The physicality of both teams. There's an edge to the crowd. They feel as if all the decisions are going against Glasgow.
Last change in the front row. Siwa Alanuka is on. It's a better territorial position for Glasgow, but Leinster have not budged an inch here. They have this 8-point lead. Good drive by Glasgow. Oh, penalty against the dominant scrum.
Yeah, I'd like to see this one again. Just listen to Nigel Owens. He's saying it's running round, being that, and the reason why it's dominant and it's going forward is because they're running round on the far side, the Glasgow pack. I'd like to see that one again because they seem to be under all sorts of pressure, Leinster.
Siwa Alanuka not impressed. First scrum.
There's Ollie Kebble on the far side.
Wasn't you were good. There's the other side and the back five running round. You were fine.
Can't see us from the other angle. He's saying they're not driving straight, they're going round. It's like a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other to me.
You get a scrum on the go like that, you fully expect the penalty to go your way.
Yeah.
Scott Fardy has done well. Was he taken in the air there?
Down blue. Use it! Oh, once! And use it now, we've got nowhere.
Luke McGrath ordered to use it. Luke McGrath has it. Doesn't go far with it. Leinster, Jack Coleman doesn't go far either. James Ryan doesn't go far.
All available, clearly available. Hughes!
McGrath will kick. Steyn can't take it, Sexton can. Andrew Porter with the support. Reece Ruddock, Mike's son, helps.
Yeah, Sexton's down, so they've got to outside half at the minute. Somebody's got to step up for Leinster.
Ball is out, yes, ball is out.
Ball is out, Glasgow turn it over. James Lowe lost it.
That's a black ball, hands away.
I'm just going to say there's no one in the backfield, but Jordan Lama's covered well.
Hasn't gone far, only to Johnny Sexton. Jordan Lama. Just for once, Lama can't make any ground. McGrath again, but it's possession for Leinster. We're getting into the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, they're down to 14 men as well, Leinster, aren't they? They've got an 8-point lead. Don't expect this to go very wide at all. Just go through the phases, kill the clock.
Ed Byrne, the new hooker, does his little bit. And the seconds tick by.
So we start to look for drop goal routines as well. Picking towards the post.
Release.
Johnny Sexton is in no position for the drop goal. He's just ordering the forwards to take control. There's no width. There goes Ed Byrne. Josh van der Fleer. Ollie Kebble with the tackle. Sexton still not interested. McGrath has to rush in, has to leave it for the forwards. Sexton still not bothered. He doesn't want the ball.
I think Leinster will be quite happy to do this for the next 10 minutes. Just pick and go, recycle. Maybe try and win a penalty.
Now Sexton on the prowl, just moving to the right of the breakdown. He stops, halts.
If Glasgow can't turn the ball over, look how narrow Leinster are. There's no one on this side of the field at all. Well, James Lowe's actually off the field.
He's hiding off the field.
Andrew Porter drives on.
Being called back on now, James Lowe by Sexton.
Keep your feet, lads.
think Sexton wants it now. He's called forward. They've called the players his way out of this forward melee. Suddenly there's a new shape to Leinster beyond these forwards. They have decided they like having the ball. McGrath gets the signal from Sexton. The forwards say, not yet.
It's just so difficult from a Glasgow point of view to get anywhere near the ball. There's two players going in, following in the carrier, ready there to clean out. It's so difficult to get the ball off Leinster in this situation. Just watch as Fardy and Conan going in to clean out.
Leinster happy to be going nowhere really, because they're in such a dominant position on the scoreboard, here in possession.
Yeah, Celtic Park crowd, it's not pretty to watch, but should we just call it professional from Leinster? 24 phases. There's a sniff there for Ferguson.
Matt Ferguson goes in, wins the penalty for Glasgow.
It's a so energy sapping, isn't it? For both sides, it's so energy sapping. Leinster have all that discipline, but Hastings is doing the right thing here. Get the tempo into the game. As hard as it is to get yourself on your feet, you've got to do that. I know Glasgow are struggling, but they've got to force this. Change in 10 as well.
Ross Byrne comes on for Johnny Sexton.
Yeah, Max Deegan's on as well. In the back row for Leinster. Need all the fresh legs. The intensity has been unbelievable out there for 73 minutes. Deegan on for Van der Fleer.
Scott Fardy just trying to eat up the seconds. Down from Ryan Wilson. Peter Horn into midfield. Matt Ferguson, the switch of play. Stewart, Hastings, Peter Horn, half break. George Horn, the brother. This is a totally different style now. The Glasgow have the ball. Matt Ferguson from Adam Hastings. Wriggles presents his Hastings again. Stein gets the ground this time. Cummings. Matt Ferguson. Peter Horn. Hugh Jones. Into the 22, Johnny Gray. Horn again, Stein, Stewart for the line, it's going to be in time for Glasgow! The final lives on! The replacement hooker breathes life into Glasgow and into the final.
Well, that's the Glasgow wanting to run the penalty, they went to the touchline, and then immediately just sparked into life. Ball carriers left, right and centre, attacking the short side, keeping the ball under huge pressure, and that man Grant Stewart holds his width. Every player on the Glasgow side wants to touch the ball. 15-man rugby and Grant Stewart slides in at the corner. Much quicker tempo, and a brilliant try from the Warriors.
What an effort from Glasgow Warriors. They seem down and out. Huge character, no lack of skill. Put the replacement hooker over in the corner. What the last 4 minutes we've got to this game.
Adam Hastings to reduce the deficit to 1 point. It doesn't go over. It's a 3-point gap.
It's a brilliantly worked try, was in these conditions. Getting the ball through the hands, having the confidence. Good hands from Stein, just straightens up. They bite on the outside, Leinster, and that man has been a live wire since he's come on. Keeps them alive. Leinster, no rush to take this kick-off. Back to the full complement, Carney back on.
Rob Carney back on, Leinster back to 15. The restart from Rossburn. 4 minutes. 3.5 minutes now. But Glasgow to strike again. And there he is. Grant Stewart again. George Horn slips. They have to be patient.
Just need a bit of magic, one last piece of magic to get them outside the 22 to cut this Leinster back line.
Hastings. Tommy Seymour off his wing. Hastings again. Peter Horn, he has made a difference since he came on. George. Here's Callum Gibbons. That's a good tackle by Ed Byrne. Hastings again. Matt Ferguson. Hastings. Horn. Seymour off his wing again. The Leinster defence good.
Yeah, just one man back as well in Rob Carney. All the Leinster defenders in the front line. They know Glasgow are not going to kick the ball. Got to keep it in hand.
Ryan Wilson charges on. Hastings had to just turn slightly. Has to go backwards now. Desperation measures. The clock ticking down. 2 and only a bit minutes to go. Johnny Gray sets it up. Hastings limping now. Keble. George Horn, always worth a try just to mix things up. A lot of limping Glasgow players. Keble again. Hastings. Gibbons takes on Ed Byrne. There's a knock on by Glasgow. 1.25 minutes to go. And George Horn perhaps knows that the chance may have gone.
Full credit to Glasgow. They're throwing absolutely everything at Leinster. So difficult in this position. Like I said, 14 men in the front line for Leinster. They know Glasgow got to run, they're not going to kick, and eventually they come up with a mistake.
Rhys Ruddock, he's got through some work out there this afternoon. I suppose we have to confront, Chris, the man of the match situation.
Well, we're just over a minute to go. It's an incredible final to start with. I mean, there's guys in that Glasgow side, the character in the Glasgow side. Someone like Scott Cummins has been carrying tremendously well. Matt Ferguson, the impact with some of the guys. Stuart Hoggs, obviously not going to see the end of this game, but I think Leinster may just sneak it. And there's a 2 or 3 guys. Luke McGrath at scrum half has been very, very good as well. There's so many to mention, but a try scorer and someone who's really put his body in the line time and time again is that man, Cian Healy. So today's Guinness man of the match, as Lou said. Cian Healy scored a try. He's been at the forefront with the scrum. He's just so dynamic, he's so powerful, he has such a big impact, but that award could have gone to almost any of the players out there this afternoon.
And the rain starts to fall again as Cian Healy and Tadhg Furlong, the rested front rowers, watch. Is this the final play? 1 more minute of control and Leinster can get rid of the ball and they will be the champions. George Horn tries to grab hold of Jack Conan. It's still under Leinster control. And as sure as anything can be in rugby, Leinster form a tight circle around the ball. This is going nowhere.
1 metre width at best from each breakdown. Another 2 phases. I expect this to go off the park.
We've got to be careful for Leinster's not sealing off. The referees are looking for that. There has to be a fair contest with possession, but Leinster are so controlled in this environment.
Ross Bird is screaming at the forwards. Johnny Sexton just ignored them. But the effect is the same. The forwards have it. Now Byrne is back for the drop goal. Or even just to clear it off the park. The final whistle goes. And Leo Cullen's Leinster have defended the Pro 14 title. Cian Healy, man of the final. They have come to Glasgow and beaten them in Glasgow. It was tight. It had drama all the way to the end. But for Johnny Gray and the team, it is disappointment. But Leinster, beaten in the Champions Cup of Europe, but the defending champions of the Guinness Pro 14, Leinster, have beaten Glasgow by 18 points to 15.